Thinking about going solar, but finding all the brands, jargon, rebates, special offers, and different opinions on Facebook confusing? Let's simplify it. Hi, I'm Jonathan Green, co-founder of green.com.au, the best solar and solar battery installer in the universe. This is your solar 101 buying guide. How big to go, what really matters, what to watch out for, and how to avoid regret. The most common question people ask is simple. Is solar still worth it? Short answer, yes. Power prices are high and only getting higher. Feed-in tariffs are tiny, and more of your home is becoming electrified. Things like induction cooktops, hot water heat pumps, and maybe an EV. Solar lets you generate your own electricity during the day, so you're buying less from the grid. And if you add a battery, you can often cover a huge chunk of your evening usage as well. In 2026, solar is less about making money from exports and more about reducing what you buy from the grid. How big should you go? A lot of old advice says to match your average daily usage and your system neatly around that number. These days, that approach often leaves you short. Panels are much more affordable than they used to be. Electricity isn't. And homes will use more electricity in the future, not less. So instead of trying to match last year's usage perfectly, it usually makes sense to go big. Go bigger if you're planning an EV, electric heating, or adding a battery. And use as much roof as makes sense on your north, east, and west faces. Even south can make sense in 2026. Will there be times when you generate more than you used in the middle of the day? Yes. If you have a battery storing that excess, you'll really appreciate the extra capacity on cloudy days, in winter, early mornings, and late afternoons. No one ever says, I wish I got less solar. It just doesn't happen. The next big decision is whether to start with solar only or solar plus a battery. Here's a simple way to think about it. If you want to maximize bill reduction, more independence, and blackout protection, then a battery makes a lot of sense, especially with the cheaper home batteries program, bringing the cost down by a lot. You can also go solar only if you want to keep the upfront costs down, but a battery will save you more off your bills in the long run. You don't have to decide everything on one day. What matters most is that your system is designed with your future in mind. Let's talk about payback, which is essentially how quickly solar pays for itself. There are 5 big things that impact it. First, how much your system costs. This is pretty self-explanatory. The more it costs, the more you have to pay back. Pretty simple. Second, system size and quality. Too small and you miss savings. Too cheap, low quality products that fail early are never a good deal. Third, how much of your own solar you actually use. The more solar you use while it's being generated, the better your savings. That's usually just meaning shifting things like washing, dishwashing, pool pumps, or hot water into daylight hours. 4, whether you add a battery and when. A well-sized battery lets you avoid expensive evening rates and speeds up your payback period. And finally, your current energy bills. How much you save depends on how much you're spending now. Higher bills generally means faster payback. A good installer, like us, can walk you through all of this and show you rough payback estimates for different options. One thing that confuses people is the sheer number of brands available. Panels, inverters, batteries, everyone claims to be premium or tier 1. You don't need to become an engineer to make a good choice. For panels, what matters is a reputable brand with a presence in Australia. Solid product and performance warranties. A track record, not just a brand you saw once on a cheap ad. For inverters, you've got string inverters, which are the most common. Hybrid inverters, which essentially combine a string inverter and a battery inverter in one. Microinverters, which are small inverters installed on each individual solar panel. The inverter is the brain of your system. This is an area where you're going reputable really matters. It also controls your monitoring, so you can actually see what your system is doing. You don't need the most expensive of everything. but you do want gear that's well supported in Australia and installed by someone who knows what they're doing. You don't need to do a ton of research about which panels and inverters when you go through us. We can walk you through the options and you can trust you're getting a quality system. Now let's quickly talk about your roof. In Australia, north-facing roofs get the most amount of consistent sun. East is better for mornings, and west, better for late afternoons and early evenings. A good design might spread panels across more than one roof face to match your usage pattern and make the most of your roof space. Shading is a big deal. Whether it's trees, chimneys, or neighboring buildings, regular shading across your panels will cut into your generation. A good installer, like us, will look at this properly, not just to drop panels wherever they fit on a diagram. We design your panel setup specifically for your roof. If your roof is complex or has partial shading, that's when things like tilt frames, optimizers, or microinverters can make sense. Again, we can walk you through everything here. When quotes start coming in, it can be tempting to jump to the price at the bottom, but it's worth looking a bit deeper. A good quote should clearly show the system size in kilowatts, panel brand and model, inverter brand and model, any monitoring included, warranties, any extra work like switchboard work, tilt frames, etc. If a quote just says 6.6 kilowatt system, tier 1 panels, quality inverter, that's a red flag. You should always know exactly what's going on your roof. And that leads us to the most important piece, the installer. You can buy the best panels and the best inverter on the market, but if the system is badly designed or badly installed, you're not going to be happy. So it's worth choosing a company that actually knows what they're doing. Choose any TCC approved retailer using SAA accredited installers and licensed electricians. You also want a team who actually asks about your home, your usage, and your future plans, not just your credit card. Someone who can clearly explain why they're recommending a particular system, who has real reviews from real Aussie customers, and who's actually going to be there if you ever need support, not an overseas call center that disappears the moment the install is done. On the other hand, be wary of high pressure tactics, door knocking deals that sound too good to be true, vague quotes with no brands or specifics, or anyone promising no power bills ever. That's just not how solar works. At the end of the day, you're putting something on your roof that should be there for 20 to 25 years. It's worth taking a little time to get the right people to do it. If you'd like to see what solar could look like for your home and how much it could save you, click the link below to request a free quote from our team. And if you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and check out our other videos. We'll catch you in the next one.